What's goody, ladies and gents? Welcome to another great episode of our Smooth Club podcast, the show where everyday men discuss everyday topics. I'm Arrington, joining with my bro, Cam. What's going on with you, boss?
Chilling, bro. Chilling. What's good with you, my man?
Man, look, recovering from this cold. Look, I thought it was about to be it for me this past week, man. Monday night, I was, had like one or two sneezes. I'm like, that's odd. I normally don't sneeze that much. That's odd. Then I went to bed, got the chills. The next day, I was like, I can't move. I can't make it. So had a fever. I was, down in a lot of just hot teas, pills, as far as like, just cough medicine and stuff like that. And I'm a person, I cannot stand cough syrup. God damn, I hate cough. I hate the taste of it. And Shier was like giving me, she's like, oh, I'm just gonna take it, guys. She won't give me no little taste. She like the full on.
Did she do the airplane for you?
No, I didn't request. I put a request. I was not happy. I didn't put that request that time. Normally she does, not this time. she was chasing me around the house. I'm like, man. I was over it. But finally recovering. So my voice is just a little the weather, but feeling much better, man.
Good.
Look, I was we were talking about what were we talking about earlier? We were talking about something that I was gonna mention during the show, and I can't remember. We were talking about some old stories because you were looking for your headphones and you were like, look, I placed it somewhere where I thought I was gonna find it.
Right in
front did
it. Spent the last 10 minutes before we hit the record button looking for the damn headphones. And I said, F it. I'm going to just go with my backups. Put my backups on. Went to grab the mic. And then what was looking me right in my face? My headphones. So
them damn headphones. But you know what? I have a lot of moments like that. Because sometimes some people can say that maybe, it's it's thing. That's going to happen. That's going to happen. I beg to differ because I used to do some of the weirdest stuff like, say for example, I take something out the freezer. I'll put it in like the pantry, and I'm like, wait a minute, why am I putting this ice cream, this freezing cold ice cream in the pantry, and it's supposed to go in the freezer? Like I'll do some weird stuff. Like I'm, at the time we used to have like the cordless phones, and I'm over putting the cordless phone with the bag of chips or something. I'm like, wait a minute, what am I doing? I'm putting it in the refrigerator. So you have some weird moments. You have some weird moments for
my biggest thing. I think people of my age suffer from this a lot is walking into a room, knowing why you're walking into the room up until the point where you get into that room and you're looking around like, why did I come here? My biggest place is the kitchen. Like just randomly walk into the kitchen, had a great idea for a snack, a drink, or something, and get into there and just be like, I don't even know why I'm here, and then just take that slow walk back to the living room.
I'm telling you, I saw an infomercial, man, with one. It is life. I remember seeing an old infomercial. It was like some kind of recorder where people just like it was for people that go grocery shopping. That was their like whole theme of the commercial. Go to the grocery store instead of writing, just record it. Oh, need this, need that, and then you click it again. I'm wondering if they still have those. I might need to get that for Christmas. That's going to be in some stocking stuffers this Christmas.
I mean, with cell phones,
I know
with cell phones, it's kind of obsolete, but I get it. I get it. You know what I'm saying?
That's
because you can leave yourself voice notes and stuff like that.
True.
Not to whatever on this company, but that technology is
I got you. No, are they a sponsor too? So we look. I can
man, they ain't paying us, and we definitely if they were a sponsor,
they ain't paying us nothing.
Get the recorder, the supermarket recorder coming to a Best Buy near you.
And Cam did not know where his headphones in, but because of that recorder, he said, "Wait a minute, where did I place them?" Thank you, recorder.
Changed my life.
Ended off with one of them
my life. Yep. We'll be the biggest sponsor. Word.
Man, but look, we got a great show in stores, man. We have two amazing gentlemen who are doing great things for their community and just very accomplished. We have X Scott and Greg Scott. They're the host of the Culture Shock podcast, Culture with a K, where on just all issues, and their main focus is to shock the culture. And I'm like, I like that term, shock the culture. Greg Scott, they're both former HBCU college football players, teammates, played at Hampton University. Greg went on to play about 6 years professional. He was drafted in the 02 NFL draft. So great career. Ex-businessman, has the foundation, Cover 3 Foundation. So I'm really excited to have them on. We're also going to speak with them, on their thoughts with Deion Sanders taking that job out in the University of Colorado, because it's been kind of like a long going discussion with Deion taking that jump from or taking that move from Jackson State to University of Colorado. So it'll be exciting conversation.
Yeah,
I wasn't gonna say jump. I was almost about to say it, but I had to stop right there because I didn't want to make it seem like, oh, it's a step up, which is not. It's not. Cash wise, maybe, but we'll speak more into that one. But also, if you for the viewers and listeners who tune into this show, hey, we truly appreciate it. For someone that's new that's watching, hey, continue to support the show. See the bottom where the platforms you can find us on: our YouTube channel, Rugged Evo TV, on Roku, the Global Vision. We have some episodes up there. All podcast platforms: iHeart, Spotify, Apple, you name it, Facebook. So we truly appreciate it. But look, man, I want to get on to like the first topic. It's some great news tying into heading into the holidays. Brittany Griner is released from a Russian detention prison where she was initially sentenced to serve 9 years for having a small amount of marijuana. And we all knew it was all for it was Russia wanted to capture a U.S. citizen and have something in return. I mean, we all know what was going on, but I just wanted to start off by saying very excited that she's released. I think it's an ultimate Christmas gift for the world, especially the Griner family. They showed some videos for heading to the airport and heading into the back into the States, and so I'm really happy that she's back, man. Did you read up on this, Cam?
I mean,
or heard about this news?
Reading up on it isn't necessary. If this story followed you wherever you were, I mean, of course, I'm happy that she's back. All the social media politicians and pundits and all had their own weigh-ins on what the implications were on the trade. But I mean, above all, again, she was we can say she was unrightfully detained, but I mean, she was in another country and she did something that could be illegal. So at that point, she's at their whim. Was it a political move for them? Of course it was. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that that's over. Hopefully this doesn't come back to bite us in our asses within the next few years. But, again, above all, happy that she's back.
Yeah, man. And that's the thing. You mentioned, bite us on the ass. A lot of people there's a lot of people that are, not happy about the swap because there is a and I don't have but there has been a citizen who's been in hold or in Russia for years, and they've been trying to get him back. He was serving for our country, and he got captured, and they've been holding him ever since. So they were really saying, is there somehow we can get both in exchange for this? It was an arms dealer that they did the swap.
That was part of why people didn't like it. They really didn't like it because of who we swapped her for and the implications that could be forthcoming with someone as dangerous as the dude that we let out of capture. So I know there was a couple people that they saying, oh, we should have tried to get them also, but it was like, we don't know what those negotiations went like. We don't know. We have no idea. It's easy to say
I've said this,
everything was played out that, oh yeah, we should have done this and we should have done that. We don't know. We can. It's just basically watching Sports Center on Monday morning saying, oh, he should have thrown to a slot receiver, or that man was open all the way downfield. Like, it's easy to say that in retrospect when you can see everything and how it unfolded, but I can't say that this or XYZ should have been done when I don't know what what all the details of this whole thing that transpired were.
Absolutely. No, I agree with you 100%. I was telling a family, well, not a family member, a much older guy was like, wow, I understand they need to take that other one just because she's a celebrity and this and that. I said, hey, look, I'm like, we never know. I understand what what you're saying, but we'll never know as far as when those negotiations or what's discussed behind those closed doors. So again, excited to see Brittany back. I couldn't imagine when he did the sentence. My heart just went for the family, because I'm like, 9 years is, we none of us has ever been in jail, so I couldn't last an hour. So just imagine, 9 years in a prison where it's a country that you don't speak their language, you're not not really familiar with their country. So I couldn't imagine. So happy to see her back. Hope hope she gets her career back on schedule. I definitely doubt that she'll ever at this point want to play overseas.
I wondered that. Well, I doubt she goes back there, but does the whole thing was she needed a supplemented income because of the money that she made in the WNBA. So does she continue to travel overseas? Does this become the kind of the thing that jostles the system to make it different? I don't know. I feel multiple ways about the whole salary thing of the WNBA. But I don't know, I don't know it. I don't know. I don't know how this goes down. You know what I'm saying? It'll be interesting to see.
Me personally, I don't think she's taking a flight to Indiana. I don't think she's hitting a plane. I don't think she's hitting I literally think she's definitely staying in the States. If a country with a great contract offer her, I mean, she might. I mean, she loves the sport. She knows that she's a provider for her family, and you have to take those risks in order to make that certain income level. So I think all this that just happened, I think opportunities for her will come towards her way that's not basketball related. Maybe just speaking on I don't know, just your time here. She might do a tell-all book. She might do stuff is gonna happen, come to her way that's gonna make her more money than even
for her
salary
for
on,
her yes
sports.
For her yes, but I'm talking about the whole league, because most of from what I don't want to say most, because I don't know what the number is, but I know a good amount of the women in the league play overseas for that same reason. I just don't know, because some of them could just be doing regular part-time jobs or whatever the case may be. So I just wonder if that's what I meant. I didn't mean specifically for her. She's gonna be all right. I think she's one of the top paid players anyway. Which is crazy that she still has to go over, but I think she'll be all right, like you said, with all the things that are going to be coming her way. People are going to be buying her story, et cetera, et cetera. I just wonder what it's going to look like when when this gets factored into what happens with the WNBA period.
Yeah, that's actually a good question. I don't know. I think it will impact. I think a lot of those players will be like, no, I don't want to have a situation like that, because it's scary. It's definitely scary. So I don't think they will do. I think that all of a sudden people would come to a lot of WNBA games and the salary cap will start increasing. No, I think there might need to be some private investors that will love to say, hey, look, just see this happen ever again, I want to, invest in it, put a little, money into the WNBA. What can we do to help, build it up and stuff?
That's not gonna happen either. That's not gonna happen. I mean, I'm just being honest. Unless they find a way to get butts in seats, bro. The overall problem with the WNBA is it's not something that people look forward to seeing. They don't pack their arenas out. They don't whatchamacallit,
they don't They don't
They don't
market
have a
it well
TV.
at
They
all.
don't market it
I
well
definitely
at
don't think they
all.
market it
For
well.
sure. I don't like the finals would be going on, and I just know that because I happened to turn past Sports Center at some point. They don't even talk about it on the debate shows. Skip and Shannon don't talk about it. Stephen A. and whoever he's with, they don't talk about WNBA. The only time they're talking about the WNBA recently is because of Brittany Griner. So it's like I don't. A lot would have to change for someone to think that they should invest money into this, because if not, they're just going to be pumping money into something and getting no return on it. Unfortunately, that's just being, of a business mind.
Yeah, I think me personally, just being like a viewer, if I wanted to try hard to be a viewer and a spectator of the WNBA, I don't think they market those games or market the finals great at all, because like you said, you can the NBA finals will be on like at lunchtime on a weekday. So I'm like, what, or not even lunchtime, maybe
you mean the
Madness comes on.
You mean the WNBA finals?
Yes.
Right. Oh, okay.
Yes. The WNBA finals. It comes on literally like if you're watching March Madness, when you see multiple tournaments going on, multiple games going on. It's like some days you're not going to catch all the games, so you just catch the scores. That's literally what
they still play prime time.
I'm not going.
I thought maybe games come on during the day.
What, the WNBA?
The playoff games I thought still came on during like the evening hours. I thought.
Sometimes, I don't know. Sometimes it's just I never see a commercial, and if it is, they might play it strictly on ESPN, where like the NBA
that's the problem.
Finals, they have contracts with other television stations.
Yeah, and so my thought would be that they would. And I recently found out that the WNBA is no longer interlinked with the NBA. So the TV contracts and things that the NBA get don't necessarily have any impact on the WNBA. I mean, I don't know how necessarily true that is, but it would make sense. It would make absolute sense, and that's why, like, they do seem like silos at this point. It seems like the WNBA is completely operating separately than what the NBA is doing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, look, great convo. Look, we're gonna take a quick commercial break, and when we come back, we'll have some more our Smooth Club podcast, a show with everyday men, where everyday men discuss everyday topics.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
Rugged is the new smooth.
All right, fam, we are back. As we mentioned to you earlier, we have two amazing guests coming on in a second. Before I introduce them, we are gonna have the discussion, just about their popular podcast, Culture Shock podcast. Also discuss a little bit about Deion Sanders taking that move to coaching a Power 5 school, and really, you'll be happy for him, but a lot of people are not. So we want to get their thoughts on that, and as well, just hearing about the great things that they're doing in their community. So without further ado, we have Mr. X Scott and Mr. Greg Scott, host of Culture Shock podcast. Fellas, what's going on with you?
Hey, what's up?
Good afternoon, gentlemen.
How you doing, fellas?
What's going on?
Pretty good.
You already see Greg repping.
He made sure it got in the camera too. He was like, "Wait a minute, let me just adjust it just right."
Y'all doing today, man?
Yeah, man.
Man, we are doing great. We are doing great. Look, fellas, we first want to talk about your podcast, Culture Shock podcast. Tell us a little more about that show. Where did the name come from? What's the mission for that show? Where did this all start about?
Well, me and Greg have talked about it all the time, about spreading our message as far as things that we've accomplished going up on our journey. People always ask us to volunteer information, which we never mind doing. So, this thing has been kind of like, I wouldn't say forced on us from God, but it kind of has been forced on us from God, man. Like we were chosen to do it. So we just sat down one day and just said, you know what, we think it's time. So once we said that, we went into our execution mode and we just started executing, getting all the X's and O's and T's crossed and I's dotted to go ahead and build a platform, man. And the Culture Shock, we just always wanted to be that particular individuals in our life. So anything that we can do to shock culture, to push the envelope, to go against the grain, so to speak, to make sure all the naysayers just block all that extra XX noise out. We just always wanted to make sure that we took emphasis on that particular part instead of being normal. We want to do all that stuff unorthodox, so to speak. It's just a thing to where if you just look at most of the things that is forced on us, as far as the media, as far as masses is concerned, those particular things, a lot of times harmful. So we just want to be individuals, but come and just spread our message to the world, man. And we just came up with the Culture Shock podcast.
Dope. What's the for our listeners that may not have heard it, or what's the overall premise of the podcast?
The overall premises, man, is just to elevate and shock culture. Is always inspiring a person's mind.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we give a person a seed to be overachievers. We want to make that normal. We don't want to make ordinary things just the norm like there's always has been, because it's not giving anybody inspiration to move to the next level in their life. So we just want to always make sure that we keep that in mind. We want to keep pushing that message to our listeners, our followers, anybody that will lend us an ear, man. We just want that always a point of emphasis. So
that's what's up.
That's dope, man. And I love the story, fellas, because you both were teammates at the true HU. I see Greg already representing the true HU right now, Hampton University. You both were teammates. Now what year was that at? What year was that?
We were at the Hampton. Well, X, X got there a year before I did. He went to Hampton. Got his scholarship in '97. I came in '98. But we were there at Hampton University together from '98 to 2000, right, X?
98 to
2000.
That's what's up.
It was a great time too, guys. I'm talking
awesome. So look, we
one of the best moments in 3-4 years.
Man, it was definitely a good 3 to 4 years, man. We got to know ourselves and know some other people.
Right.
Know some other people.
Right.
Yeah, I was actually at Temple University those same years.
Man,
we were all
I know that's right.
Around the same time. So I definitely know exactly what y'all were talking about. Some good years, some very good years.
Definitely, man.
Yeah.
Great years.
Well, look, my dad, he was majority of my family went to NSU. My dad, he played football. He was a college football All-American at Norfolk State, strong safety. So growing up, I was always attending Norfolk State games and really just HBCU games. He was always telling me just the importance of historical Black colleges and just always. I never attended one. I attended Chowan University, but I always say we could have easily been a HBCU. We were in the CIAA tournaments. We played Elizabeth City, Winston-Salem, Shaw, Delaware State. Everything. Look, majority of the student base was African American. So you almost had all the frats and sororities were AKAs, alphas, Qs. So you definitely got that culture. And so the only thing we never accomplished was really successful homecoming. But after seeing just the importance of HBCU schools, and you hear about first thing, Deion Sanders becomes the head football coach at Jackson State, which was, major news because I went to private school. So of course, like at Norfolk Christian, you only heard mostly UVA, Virginia Tech, UNC Chapel Hill. Those are the key school, or Liberty University, Old Dominion. Those are really the only schools that went around in the frame. So I've always spoke on, if I mentioned Norfolk State or North Carolina A&T, some of my friends would be like, huh? No, never really heard of that, because when it looks to sports, they think of all the top tier schools. Yeah, right. they think of top tier schools, big time sports schools. They're thinking of Alabama, Georgia, Oregon. So when they're heading to Jackson State, I'm like, this is awesome, because prime time, he always brings the crowd to him, and I think it was great notoriety for the school. So I first want to ask the question to you guys: what was your first reaction when you heard that after 3 seasons at Jackson State?
Hold on.
You taking a coaching job, head coach job at University of Colorado. What was? Oh,
hold on one second, Arrington. Before we get into that, I actually want to back it up a little bit. Because they went to Hampton, I actually want to know what their thoughts were when he actually first took the job at Jackson State and everything he did through then, before we got to the what happened over the last couple of weeks. I'm curious to see what you all thought the impact was and all that good stuff, and then we'll get into the other stuff.
Well, I thought it was a great move, man. I thought it was going to be when he first got the job, I knew it was going to be wonderful news for Jackson State, and not only Jackson State, but all HBCUs to have such a mogul, an icon coaching at a HBCU. I'm very happy with what Deion did during the time he was there, man. He brought a spotlight to HBCUs. Some of the spotlight may not have been so good, but a lot of it was very good. He just made it a very clear effort to put HBCUs on the map and to let us know about some of the struggles that HBCUs go through on a daily basis. But on the flip side of that, like I said, he put an amazing spotlight on Jackson State's football program and just what they've been able to do, back-to-back SWAC champs, undefeated this past year. So I was very happy to know that we had such a superstar want to start his college coaching reigns at a HBCU, and I hope other guys follow suit to do that. I'm not mad about people progressing, but I hope they want to start at some of the grassroots programs that really have done a lot for our people.
And man, I was elated. I was ecstatic. I mean, because at the end of the day, we know for being HBCU athletes ourselves, we know the uphill struggle. We understand it because, again, we lived it. So once we got the news that Deion was about to make his coaching debut, not at only Jackson State, but at an HBCU, we know the whole body of our HBCU culture was going to elevate. Because, again, it just wasn't, Coach Deion Sanders coming to an HBCU and bringing great coaching strategies. It was Prime coming to an HBCU. See, I look at it in a situation where, because I'm always thinking marketing, business, and brand. I'm a little wired different, but I just looked at it as this guy created an actual brand out of high school. So he was Prime out of high school. When he gets drafted, he was on the television as Prime. Yeah. This guy understands when the cameras are on, he understands how to be a magnet to these cameras to draw people into the vision. So when he came to Jackson State, we immediately said, you know what? He's going to use the brand Prime to be a magnet for our HBCU sports culture. And he did that. And a lot of things were accomplished in only 3 years. Man, he got, the entire conference a Pepsi sponsorship. He, went the first undefeated season in Jackson State's history, back-to-back SWAC champions. He's graduated at 90%. He's put guys in everything he said he did. So
yeah.
Also major renovations to Jackson State.
$100 million in revenue came right to Jackson State.
Wow.
Absolutely. So to your point, bro, like Cam, to your point, we at the HBCU culture, man, we just was ecstatic. Because again, some guys had their personal opinions and feelings, which rightfully so, and definitely we understood it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't get me wrong, definitely understood it because if you set your bar here, man, once that time comes, like it is now, once he leaves, now who's going to keep that bar here?
Right.
So we understood the presence and the maintaining of it, but we just happy that he came and basically exposed our culture to the masses.
Absolutely. Good stuff. My bad, Arrington. I wanted to get that background first because it's been like a Deion bashing week. So I just wanted to hear. I wanted to hear the flowers first.
Right.
Thanks for bringing that up. Because it was mind blowing because he wasn't the only known name that came to start to coach in HBCU. Eddie George is at Tennessee State. Hugh Jackson is at I think Grambling. So I mean, there's been more, and then you have assistant coach. Yeah, you have former NFL coaches that are assistant on a assistant coaching staff at HBCU. So it did make some. Right. It made some noise. Like, look, competition is just as heavy here. We just might not have the financial stability like these schools have. But like Greg had mentioned, like Deion brought in a renovated locker room, renovated stadium. Yeah. $100 million in revenue just in Jackson State alone. I mean, I was reading up on I think yesterday or the day before yesterday, they had like Roland Martin. He was a commencement. Roland Martin, he's a journalist. He's big on HBCUs. He was speaking over there, and he was just showing the university. I mean, Jackson State is getting some really huge exposure. So I think Deion, he accomplished more than than enough. I know his contract was for 4 years. He stayed, he did, stay for 3. If I was happy and I was sad at the same time, because I'm like, if you're winning, why stop? Just keep on winning, man. Just keep on, make a name. But I understand it's like, hey, look, if you had your personal goal of coaching a Power 5 school, hey, accomplish that. Your resume is already built. Why it's hot? You have to continue to build up your brand and stuff, with your coaching career. So I think he did more than enough. I think the question now as far as for Black people, in order, one person can't make he did bring the exposure. He put a huge impact to HBCUs, but one person cannot make that huge change. We have to always know that alumni pours in to their universities. Are some of the oldest institutions, older than these very high schools. So in order for you to see some growth in your university, you need to put money into it. And if you don't, what do you think is going to happen? So I get a little irritated when I do hear a lot of people saying, "I sold out." He sold out. In the beginning, Deion had mentioned that God sent him to fix HBCUs. He did. In what way did he not do that? That's why I'm confused. It's like, what way did he not do that?
Exactly.
He
I don't know if he fixed the problem. I
was
think
on CNN.
My bad. I don't know if he fixed the problem.
What did you say, Cam?
I said I don't know if he fixed the problem, but as Greg and X kind of pointed out, he shined a huge light as to what is happening in the HBCUs, and now there's recognition there. So now it's up to the people involved to make sure that we get these schools up to where they should be. Bring recognition. I mean, honestly, I hope he put into place a pipeline for, we got the Rooney Rule in the NFL and stuff like that. I hope he put forth like a pipeline for Black coaches to step up and coach these schools, and maybe that's where they get their recognition from. Maybe they reinvigorate these programs, and maybe that's the natural flow for Black coaches. Like, I don't know what the answer is, but I think he exposed a big gaping hole in something that could be worked on over the next few years.
Yeah. And it's so many layers, man.
He definitely did. I think the heart.
Go ahead, X.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's so many layers.
Were you saying, Greg?
It's so many layers to this situation, and I wouldn't even call it a problem, but it's just so many layers. Just to elaborate a little bit on what Cam was alluding to. Just think about, because me and Greg made a small joke about it, but we had a conversation about it. But him and like 3 more coaches has been together for 20 years, right? So me and Greg was just talking, I think it was like a couple of days ago. He was like, man, like, bro, if we've been together for 20 years from the Pop level, Pop Warner, then we go to the high school level, we've been together for 20 years. The end goal for us coaching is to be on that level.
Mm-hmm.
So when the opportunity presents itself 20 years later, it's time to go.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So that's one of the layers I think people are missing. And one of the caveats I think people are missing as well. Because, I like to explain in layman's terms, bro. It's like if you want a job for 20 years, the owner of the corporation comes to you and say, listen, I want to elevate you from an employee to now a super. And you're going to go from making $30,000 a year to now $450,000. A person in their right mind isn't just going to say, no, I don't think I want to do that, sir. It's just they're going to get elevated. So Greg, tell them your thoughts on that when we was discussing this same topic.
Yeah, I think, man, to be honest with you, I think it's just, now first I want to say this. I am all about the betterment for HBCUs. He took a chance. He went there. He exposed some good and bad stuff. He did what he was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a misconception that people think that Deion was supposed to stay there for 10 years, 12 years, fight it out. I mean, hey, he made a very true statement the other day. In this profession, either you're elevated or you're fired. If you give an opportunity to elevate yourself, and to allude to what X was talking about, it's also a bigger piece to this than when you've been rocking with guys for, like he stated, for 20 years. Y'all been coaching together, and you get a chance. Deion is not only changing his life and his family's life, or bringing his family back to a life that they are accustomed to. He's changing the lifestyles of those 3 to 4 guys that are going with him too. Those guys are getting hell of a pay raises. You're changing the lifestyles of those guys' children, those guys' wives, those guys' families. Yeah. I think it was a hell of a move by him, man. My thing with people is, man, we have to stop putting so much energy into other people's successes, good or bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, great. If people can elevate themselves, man, hey, go do that, bro. How can you sit here and bash a person for not only elevating himself, his family, but 2 to 3 other families, man? You talking about an immediate impact on 30 to 40 people's lives right now. You know what I'm saying? So, I just don't understand the bashing of Deion. I'm thankful that the brother took a chance to come to an HBCU and start his coaching career. But now, hey, man, somebody come to you, man, just like I said, we 4 doing the podcast right now, and they be like, look, guys, we want you guys on Good Morning America tomorrow morning. We want we go.
Deuces.
I just can't get some people's thought process, man, because I thought the whole thing in this world of ours, what we're supposed to do, get a leg up, pull some of your brothers with him, change some other people's lives. That's what he did. Look at what, that's what he did, bottom line. So I support Brother Deion and Coach Prime for all that he's done, and I wish him the best at Colorado, man. I really wish he do, because even at Colorado, he's still going to affect the lives.
He got his work cut out. Yeah.
He got his work cut out for him. And on that flip side, I think it was a smart move. Go to somewhere where you've been getting your ass kicked. Now you can change. It's hard if Deion goes somewhere that was 9-2 last year, because they are expecting same thing.
a cup, a chip, something. Yep, that's a fact. That's a fact.
That's true. That's true. I didn't think about that.
Right.
Colorado was 1-11 last year. If Deion goes there, this upcoming year, and he goes 7-4. He had a hell of a year. You know, he changed the program.
He's gonna get a statue at that point.
I do like his thought process. You know what I'm saying? Of picking that school, going to that school, and changing their culture. So again, man, I support everything that he's been doing, man.
I completely agree with you, Greg. I will say this.
Hey,
I definitely wasn't one of the bashers, but what I did say was I was a little disappointed because I loved all the things that he was doing. I saw a world where all these ex-NFL players were going to HBCUs and coaching, and then this just whole farm system, like that was our fault. You know what I'm saying? Like we saw this vision and we accounted that to one person. So I will say I was disappointed when he left, but I understand it. And I also understand, and Arrington and I have these talks all the time, like when those opportunities come, you got to take them. So I get it. I get he had to do what he needed to do for himself, but I can't say that I wasn't disappointed when I first heard the news. I just have to admit that. You know what I'm saying?
I want to add another thing too, guys. Like, I think that a lot of people get the misconception of HBCUs and the talent at HBCUs aren't Division I.
Oh yeah, not at all. Not at all.
I want to make sure we put that out there on the airways because there are 23 Division I HBCUs in the country, right? Me and Greg, a HBCU as a D1 now, and there's a narrative out there as well. In Arrington, his whole thing is he likes to change the narrative. So this is a great opportunity so we can set the narrative straight on NFL draft picks, right? There's not guys going to the league from HBCUs. That's false. That's a lie. Because one thing about it, Greg was an NFL draft pick from Hampton. I went to the NFL undrafted free agent, but he actually got drafted. It was so many guys on our 4-year run and our 4-year journey that actually got drafted. That's just was on the team. Now we're not talking about all through the rest of the MEAC. Also talking about guys that credit to Hall of Fame coach Joe Teller. We're also talking about guys that transferred in from Power 5 schools and didn't pan out because it was garbage. Let's just be now. We're going to have an honest conversation. We love our brothers, but we're going to tell the truth. You know, these came from Florida, came from University of South Carolina, came from Florida and didn't get on the field, came from University of North Carolina and didn't get on the field. You see what I'm saying? Versus guys that they were sitting behind that came from high school straight to the HBCU, started and got drafted. So I want to put out that particular information because it's a misconception of the Power 5 versus the HBCU. Now, Coach Prime did allude to something on a previous interview, which he is correct. The difference between a Power 5 and an HBCU is just the trenches. That's it. Yeah, it's the offensive defensive line. It's not the receivers. It's not the running back. It's not the DBs. It's not the linebacker. It's just the trenches. Now, of course, you know, if our team that we played together on, which we had a top 5 defense in America, that Greg actually played on defense, which we had a top 25 offense in America, which I was actually a part of, but put on the same team, right? So with those particular numbers being said, we are blindfolded because HBCUs don't have the media exposure and coverage. That's all it is. But what happens is when our Hall of Fame coach Joe Teller was trying to schedule games with University of Maryland, they declined. When we was trying to a lot of these schools, these Power 5 schools was saying no because at the time, you know, bro, we was ass kickers. So
I was gonna say that's why they couldn't afford to take that L. For sure.
App State versus Michigan. You see how that big upset that messed the money up, do a lot of damage like that towards these Power 5s, but they declined, and it would have also helped hurt recruiting on the Power 5 level
for sure.
But the narrative straight with the facts. We just want to put that part out there.
Absolutely.
That no knock on the Power 5s because they're great schools. And, you know, like I said, teammates of ours, I actually coach high school football with a guy that I still talk to daily. He started corner at the University of North Carolina and also went and played for the Jets. And we always talk about the difference. The Power 5 athletic experience is a little better than the HBCUs, but our social experience is better than Power 5s. So you just got to pick your poison and think about, what do you want out of your college experience?
Yeah. I love that you pointed that out, because that is a misconception. And yeah, I love it.
Well,
I love it.
Yeah, and X, I'm so happy you mentioned that, because I was gonna ask, as far as for like now, now Deion's at Colorado, boom. What's next now for the prospects that either don't want to commit to a HBCU or be like, let me go to a Power 5, because there were a lot of guys that were initially committed to, say, like University of Florida, and said, well, let me go on to play for an HBCU. So I'm glad you mentioned that, because I want to see more of the top tier prospects commit to HBCUs, because I do think that the athletes do benefit more of the exposure at HBCUs as well too, when they take that direction to an historical Black college. So I'm glad you made that, just describing as far as the competition level, and so that people can see, and that is true. Media exposure is one thing, because when I catch a lot of HBCU football games, it's on smaller local channels, and not I can't just like ESPN, or it might be on ESPN 3 or something, you know what I mean, like a channel that nobody really watches that most. So I think I think they need to make them prime time, and those TV deals and those television sponsorships and things like that. So no, great conversation, fellas. Look, I want to talk about your Cover 3 Foundation, which is, you're doing great things. I
think X wanted to say something. Yeah,
I just want to point out something real quick before we move on. I just want to give an example of
go ahead.
versus Power 5 again. Now, this particular individual came after me and Greg's era. His name is. Now, he was a starting linebacker at Hampton for 4 years, correct? So he was the defensive player of the year 3 times in a row. They won 2 back-to-back conference championships. They had 2 undefeated seasons, right? So his brother was the starting quarterback at University of North Carolina. Okay, that's Power 5 ACC. Now, Darian Durant, again, was a starting quarterback at North Carolina. Justin Durant was the starting middle linebacker at Hampton University, right? Both Division I schools, one FCS, one FBS Power 5 ACC, which played quarterback. Now, Darian Durant didn't get drafted, okay? Darian Durant was a great quarterback at the University of North Carolina, all right? Justin Durant got drafted 52 overall, 2nd round, Jacksonville Jaguars.
Wow.
So with that particular information, I just want to put that out there again to dispel the inconsistencies and dispel the narrative. And let's just talk about what the facts are, because, again, that's a prime situation that we know exactly how it transpired. Because, again, a coach or mom or dad or community mentor would tell a kid, yo, you need to go Power 5 to get drafted. That's not true.
Yeah.
That's just misinformation. So I didn't want to keep elaborating or harping on that, but I just want to give that particular
one
yeah. I think Arrington might be struggling a little with his connection over there. But yeah, no, that's a great point.
Awesome,
I think
awesome. Well, look,
okay,
I want to talk about your Cover 3 Foundation. Yeah. Appreciate that, Cam. Foundation, because I mean, you fed y'all. I think y'all work with that together, and mission is to fight child hunger. Can you speak more on that? Greg or X, or whoever wants to start that one on.
Definitely, man. Definitely. I just knew we wanted to, after we both finished our respective football careers, man. We wanted to make an impact on our community, Franklin, South Hampton County. but not only that community, surrounding counties. And I found out about the child and adult care feeding program and the summer feeding service program, which both are programs ran through Virginia Department of Education. And I had no idea, when I was at college, man, or when I was in college, that children were starting to go through fighting child, hunger in after school programs or dealing with those type of issues. So I found out about it, and a mentor of mine up at Hampton University, may he rest in peace now, Gary Singleton, he was already doing. And he told me about it. He had a nonprofit organization called Peace in the Streets over in Newport News that was feeding children every day in after-school programs, summer programs. And he was like, Greg, it's not a hub out there in your area. He said, I'm sending food out towards Southampton and Franklin to help the kids out there. So that touched me. I really went into it. Me and X put our head together, and we started Cover 3, man. And we started out really small, man, in 2000. And actually, Cover 3 initially was football camps, youth league, football leagues, different things like that. We did that for a couple of years, touched a lot of children through the game of football. But then when we found out about that feeding program, man, that's what really took Cover 3 to the next level. So we started feeding kids March 2010, man, and we started real small, 3 sites. And fast forward a couple of years, man, we went from feeding 50 kids per day to feeding 1,500 kids per day. Wow. And we were able to serve over 4. Appreciate you, man. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
We've been able to serve over 4 million healthy meals and snacks and breakfasts to kids in Southeastern Virginia in summer programs and after-school programs since 2010. So I'm just thankful for the great staff that we've been able to form, our board of directors, and just all of our partners that we've been able to work with over the last 13 years of fighting childhood hunger, man. You really, when you're focused and you're on the mission, you really don't get a chance to sit back and gloat about some of the work you've been able to do. But I'm just thankful that we've been able to put a small dent in fighting childhood hunger and have become a regional power.
Wow.
Known for
amazing.
So we're really thankful, man.
That's amazing.
And I want to add also, guys, just for all your viewers and listeners, man, when Greg came to me with that information, bro, like I want to always encourage people to support their friends and family, right? So when Greg told me what rest his soul, Mr. Gary Singleton gave him the information as far as the CSCFP program is concerned, and I understood and knew he was serious about it. I knew Greg was serious about executing that, right? So I did whatever I needed to do to make sure he had full support of executing that. And I want to encourage individuals, if you are close friends, family, or cousins, or whatever have you, with anyone that is serious about anything that they're thinking of as far as a vision is concerned, especially life-changing and ultimately helping somebody else's life, make sure you support them and give full support to them if you have the resources and the know-how and the wherewithal. Because it's so important, because a person can't do it alone and by themselves. If you see it, please help tap into that with that individual and help and assist. Because, I got to always give kudos to what it's due, because we got to give each other our flowers while we're above ground. Greg has always been an executor. He's always been an individual that when he puts his mind to something, he's serious about it. And only thing he got to do is say it once, it's going to happen. So with that being said, you see the transition when he matriculates from football to entrepreneurship, right? So only thing you have to do is make sure you help guide and assist, and any resources that you may have individually, put the resources together and make it a big flower and make it grow. Because everything starts from a seed. Everything comes from the darkness, even us, as far as birth is concerned in our mom's womb. Everything starts from a seed. So make sure that we do our part to help nurture these individuals who have these life-changing, trailblazing visions. So I just want to make sure I put that out there to your viewers and listeners, man, to always encourage.
It's dope, man. That is dope.
Man, fellas, I truly appreciate it. We definitely gonna have y'all back because we were having some bit on my end. I'm having some technical difficulties, but I've been enjoying this conversation the whole time, and I want to have y'all on for a part 2. We have to. You're always invited, fellas. How can we continue to support Cover 3 Foundation as well as the Culture Shock podcast? What are the socials? Please give it to us, fellas. Give it to us.
Cover 3, man. You definitely support us through our website, www.cover3foundation.org. We have our Facebooks, Cover 3 Foundation, our Instagram at Cover 3 Foundation, LinkedIn under my name, Greg Scott, which has a subtitle of Cover 3 Foundation. So those are all of our socials. I just want to make sure all your viewers know they can definitely. We have a Cash App where you can mail your check to Cover 3 Foundation, PO Box 456, Franklin, Virginia 23851. All donations are tax deductible, man, and we would appreciate any help that we can to make sure that we're fighting childhood hunger on a daily basis. Because again, it's not easy, guys. I think we've done a good job of making it look easy for 14 years, but it's not easily. We constantly have to get out here and fundraise and do different things. So any support that we can get from your listeners, your team, would be greatly appreciated, man. And again, thank you for allowing us to spread our hearts and our visions and talk about different things on your platform, man. And you guys keep up the great work, man. You always want to give flowers to brothers while they can, man. And you guys have done amazing things, man. So continue to push forward, continue to move that needle, man, and just continue influencing people to be the best they possibly can be. And thank you again, guys.
Absolutely. Appreciate it. Much appreciated.
And you can go to our Instagram, the Culture Shock 19 on Instagram, the Culture with a K. The Culture Shock on Facebook, and please like, share, subscribe on YouTube and any other platform that you absorb your podcast, man. And we appreciate everything from you guys, man. You guys have an amazing show, an amazing platform. I also check out you guys' show often, so keep doing what you guys are doing. Keep being trailblazers, man, and shining that light. And more power to you guys, man. And we got your you guys have our full support.
We appreciate it, man. Great talk. Yeah, like Arrington said, we definitely want to have you all back. This was a great conversation. I want to see it continue for sure.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Grace, Mr. X guy, host of Culture Shock.
For sure. Thank you guys, man. Thank you.
Peace, fellas.
Take care.
Okay.
Yeah, keep going, Cam.
What's that? Commercial break. Yo. Well, ladies and gentlemen,
I'm still here. Hold on, we're gonna go to a quick commercial.
He's back. He's back. There we go. Commercial break.
No, I'm back. We're gonna go to a quick commercial break. Look, I see Ciroc is on waiting backstage diligently. Look, we're gonna have a last topic we're gonna bring in. I know Ciroc's gonna enjoy this one, but when we come back, we're gonna have some more with our Smooth Club podcast, a show where everyday men discuss everyday topics.
I'm a master of my mind. Manipulate the masses with motivation to move. This is the only chair I'll volunteer to sit in. Spinning and spinning. Each loop past the mirror, I see a better me in true destiny. Confidence is key, so these 2-week cleanups won't be memories. Hey, barber, do you think it's possible to reshape the temple that holds my thoughts? Shape up in the hub makes me bold my walk, cause sometimes a lineup could be your savior. Do you think it's ironic that I can monetize my work when I stick to the master plan and get my taper? No more thoughts of getting burned by the system, and this new product doesn't burn my taper. Thank you. Let's normalize uncovering our bodies from that sheet, and we look stunning when it comes off, because we are masters of our mind. Manipulate the masses with motivation to move. Each cut allows more and more room to grow.
We back up in the place. I think Arrington is going to bring Ciroc in for a minute, but great conversation, ladies and gentlemen. I look forward to talking to X and Greg again. Again, follow us on socials. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us wherever you consume your podcast. I believe Ciroc will be in a moment. I think Arrington is still going through some technical difficulties on his side. I think he's back. Welcome back, sir. What's happening? What's cracking?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, there he goes. Oh, Ciroc came in for 2.5
Hold
seconds.
up.
And he was gone.
Man, this is... Can you hear me, Cam?
Yeah, I hear you. Ciroc, I saw Ciroc pop up for a second, then he popped right back out. So I'm not sure what happened.
This is...
There we go.
There he goes. There he goes.
Why you kick me out and add me at the same time? You trying to hide my shine? Every time we got
there we go.
guests on the show, you be like, "Oh, we got technical difficulties." You're not gonna do me like that.
Oh, my man comes in with guns blazing per usual.
Look, am I in yet, fellas? Am I sound?
You partly in there. You partly in there. I don't know what's happening right now, but you partly in there.
Bro, I'm having like the worst connection.
I'ma talk. He been talking this whole time. I'ma talk. All right, y'all. So we at Poolside Cooking. You know I got a million jobs. We just at the Poolside Cooking TV station, and Foxtel Studios will be one of the main cinematographers and film studios to get that segment off the ground. So we're excited. And
that's what's up, man.
Talk. Look at it. He still can't say nothing.
Nah,
what is going on with his internet?
I can talk in my end.
His internet is kicking his ass right now, sir.
You know what he did? He got stopped in Walmart by that dude in his polo shirt. And he was like, "Hey, you want free internet access for the next 2 months?" And Anton said, "Free for 2 months?" Yeah, bro, and then it's only $79.99 after your 2-month trial. Sign up for Walmart Internet now.
Oh man,
all bad.
Funny. That is
man.
Funny.
I am.
It's probably
hurting today.
How was the
it is
interview?
definitely not true. Okay, it's not. All right.
How was the interview with the HBCU guests, man?
It was great. It was great. Of course, the
I don't want
internet
to
was
talk to
effing
you
up with
Cam.
it was. Okay, all righty.
Cam, how was the interview?
He said you too laggy. He can't have a delayed conversation with you.
I can't talk to him. I can't. I don't know what he think this is. I'm not gonna wait for him to be like
like the correspondent tapping the ear. Yeah, I'm getting word. My man, you got my man hiding behind the bonsai. No,
Lord.
but it was a dope conversation, bro. It was a dope conversation.
I can hear everything you guys are saying.
We talked about D1.
The next move is probably something about to eat, and then we'll go to the game and stream the game.
Yeah. But
I didn't see him move the tree.
But yeah, dope conversation about their foundation, about their former playing days. It was just dope talk per usual with this pod. You know,
that's what's up. That's what's up.
Man. Yeah, man.
All right, man. Look, do he want me to close it out, or do he want to?
He said he had another topic. I don't know if he could. We'll see if he could. Like, Arrington, you good? Like,
I'm good. Dude. How do I sign? Am I still choppy?
You get
Am
in
I
there.
still choppy?
It's better. It's better. It's better.
It's better.
Oh,
okay,
man,
this is done.
I have one more topic. Is it?
No,
it's
end it. Stop.
Another great episode of our Smooth Club podcast.
Maybe we'll go live.
Tell him
we'll
to play the theme song so we could just be like.
Get kicked out again. We're both about to get kicked out.
Yo.